Hi, Jeremy Higgins, your local realtor right here in Davis, California, and welcome back to my video blog. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's a little bit more serious. In fact, it's even more on a personal note for me today, and it's in regards to distressed sales, homeowners who are struggling to make their payments. Now, I know you may not be in this situation, but one thing I do know is that you have a friend, a family member, a coworker or neighbor who is absolutely in this situation. Over 7 million homeowners across the United States today are late on their payments or struggling to make their payments. And guess what? Davis is not immune. In fact, the last time I checked, over 100 homeowners in Davis were late on their payments. That's a lot. And I say this is a personal thing for me today, and that's because I received a phone call from a very, very good childhood friend of mine. And he was pretty stressed out. He said, Jeremy, man, I'm struggling to keep my home. In fact, the bank had called him and said, hey, we're foreclosing on your house this Friday. And he had no idea what to do. Now, thankfully, he was out of the area. Thankfully, we were able to get him set up with an agent. And they were able to get the foreclosure stopped. And they're moving forward with a short sale. It looks like they're going to be okay. But man, 2 days, that's cutting it close. In many instances, if it gets that close, there's no shutting it down. And I received a phone call from another client here in Woodland, actually, or over in Woodland, and same thing. They said, Jeremy, we need your help. And unfortunately for them, it was too late. The bank did actually foreclose on their home, and it didn't have to happen. So now, this is a very, very stressful situation for most homeowners. And it's so stressful, in fact, that most of them choose to bury their head in the sand. And maybe this is you. And if it's not, I promise you, you have a friend or a family member who is in a very stressful situation. In fact, you know, I've helped over 100 people in this situation now. And one thing that I find throughout all of them, it seems, is that, you know, they're struggling to eat. I've seen marriages going sideways. I've seen health problems. We even had one client that I heard about that had a heart attack due to the stress. Now, that's not okay, especially if it's one of your friends or your family member or your coworker, right? So, you know what? The great news is that it does not have to happen. There are options. In fact, there are at least 9 options that help you avoid foreclosure. And you know what? Short sale is not the only option. In fact, in the clients that I consult, only about 50% of them actually go forward with a short sale because many of them want to keep their home. And thankfully, there are programs available, some of them government, some of them not. You know, I got into this whole short sale working with distressed homeowners about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, 2008. And the reason for it was a very successful agent called me and she said, hey, I've got some clients who are struggling to keep their payment or their home. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was selling foreclosures at the time, so she thought maybe I knew what I was doing. I didn't. But anyway, person needed help. It's in my nature. I went over there to see what I could do. And I have to tell you, it was actually a life-changing event for me. It was an eye-opener, to say the least. I remember going over there and meeting this young mother with her newborn baby. Her husband was sitting across from me at the table. And I remember as she held the baby and she was crying and she had some really big fears. She had fears that, you know, she was going to come home and her doors were going to be locked, or that she was going to wake up to a knock on the door from the sheriff saying, you got to go. And I remember looking across the table at her husband, and he just had this really numb look on his face. And I got to tell you, man, it broke my heart. And I left that house that day and I said, you know what? I am committed to doing anything and everything I can to reach as many homeowners as I can. I went out there and I studied. I went to every class I could think of, hundreds of hours, just so I could help as many homeowners as I can. And I got to tell you, I can't do it alone. I need you. I need your help to reach these people. I hope this video will inspire you to reach out to those friends and family members that you have that need our help. So think about it right now, and just give me a call and let me know. And we'll sit down with them, or if you're in this situation, we'll sit down with you And we'll talk about your situation individually. We'll talk about how we can protect you from tax liabilities and different legal ramifications with the bank if you short sale your house or foreclose on your house, or loan modifications. And we'll talk about some of the little tricky things that banks do to kind of catch you up, that kind of stuff. We'll do everything we can to protect you or to protect your friends. But we cannot do it unless we get in touch with you. And that requires some action on your part. Either you calling me or you reaching out to your friends and letting them know that there's help. So thank you for your time today. And you know, at the end of my videos, I always talk about word of mouth, right? And this one is probably one of the most important times that you can do that. So if you have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, I don't care what it is, I hope this inspires you to share the video. Share it with as many people as you can. I don't care if they're from out of the area. I don't care if they're on the East Coast, because a person in need is in need. And if I can't help them personally, I have the connections across the country for people that do know what they're doing in this area of real estate and can help them. So again, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.